Hi, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I'm introducing my new set from Gina K Designs coming out Thursday, June 26th, Fabulous Frame. I am so excited about this set, I can't even tell you. This is the latest in my frame series. I actually based a book on my frame series of stamps called Fabulous Stamped Frames. It includes a large frame stamp that fits on an A2 size card. This frame can be rotated in 4 directions so that you can have portrait or landscape style orientation. So you're going to have a perfect layout for your focal points every single time. In addition to that, you have this beautiful new flower. This is Trillium, which is an official flower of Canada. Some butterflies, which are different from any of the other ones in my line. These are great for making embellishments and for focal points. Plus, a range of greetings that will work for virtually any occasion, and they're in a classic font that will never go out of style. These are very similar to what I already have in my A Year of Flowers and my Say It With Flowers stamp sets, but those are in rubber, and I have reversed which ones are in italics, so you can make lots of mix and match combinations if you already have the Say It With Flowers set. Today I'm going to be sharing a single layer card. Isn't that beautiful? And this is just one layer, but you see how adding that frame stamp, it looks like you have the base layer, which is white, then the gray layer is a second one. I'm going to show you how to make this reverse masked pattern layer, so that would be the third. Then you have this little belly band here that looks like a double layer, 4, 5, and then finally this oval with the rim that you can color, so 6, 7. Basically 7 layers if you were actually adding all of this in cardstock, plus that beautiful black border. So let's go ahead and get started. Really minimal supplies for this particular set. As I said, it is in clear, and you have this great index sheet to show you where all of your stamps go. You will need a large block for that frame stamp. I've already got a lot of staining on it because I've already made a ton of cards in just one day. You're going to need some smaller blocks for the greetings and for the flower and butterflies. On this card, I'm going to be using 2 ink pads, the Gina K Black Onyx and the Gina K Moonlit Fog. I have a few markers to color in that flower and the borders. So I've got the GB4 for the center, it's a yellow, the CG3 and CG4 for those leaves, and then I'm going to use the CG2, which is a nice cool gray, for making the flowers shadow and for filling in those rims on the frame. All right, you'll also be needing some pearls to accent it, and then just a piece of white cardstock. So this is one that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've scored it at 5 1/2, and then I went ahead and just stamped my frame directly on it. But you see, there's just so many different ways that you can put this to create different kinds of layouts. I started with a piece of scratch paper, and this is important if you want to do any kind of masking on your cards, and that's really going to allow you to change the look of your projects. By stamping this first onto some scratch paper, that's going to allow you to cut out different portions of the frame. Okay, so I would just repeat that several times. So you can cut out the oval, you can cut out these sections, or you can cut out just the band. So I'll show you. This is one that I'm going to be using. I've already used it for some sponging stamping to add any flower or any image that you want inside that oval window. And I was thinking about my stately flower line when I was creating this set. We're also going to be using this mask. This is going to allow us to stamp any image inside of those borders, but not inside this area that we want to have open for our focal point. And that's going to be a great way to create backgrounds. But of course, you can also paper piece these areas, and that would be beautiful. And I didn't do it on this card, but I went ahead and cut out just that little belly band part, and that's really nice for just adding another little pattern into. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our card. And I'm going to cover it up with the mask, and you can use this over and over again as long as you're careful with it, and then just save it in that bag that the stamps came in, or one of those vintage cut binder sheets that Gina K carries. Lots of different ways to store these. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up this flower and the Moonlit Fog. I love how the Moonlit fog looks kind of like a silver ink. And this is one of my favorite ways to make floral cards, to do a stamped background, just monochromatic, any color, and then coloring in the one on my focal point. Oops, hang on. Let me do it real quick. Okay. So we're going to turn the stamp so that those petals just nest together. Okay. Put one over here. And if you have a problem with it sliding around as you're stamping it, you can go ahead and use some removable adhesive. Okay. And then you just lift that away and it's filled in for you. Okay. Now let's go ahead and ink it up in the black Onyx. And I'm going to place this mask over it to cover up that oval. There's a lot of different ways that you can turn this when you're coloring for how you want it stamped. But those little contour lines in the images show you where the shadows go. Okay, and you just lift that away. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my gray marker and I'm just going to carefully and quickly fill in these borders. And you could do all of these little mats in the frame a different color, but I'm just going to keep them all gray. And even though I'm using an alcohol marker for this, you can use water-based markers, and that's actually preferable if you're going to emboss. So I'm going to show you in a future video how beautiful this looks embossed, and then you can fill it in with a colored marker and that won't go over your embossing. Okay, so almost done here. But this is just great for saving cardstock, for sending a flat card. It's less postage and it's just less time. I would much rather color in my rims than having to cut and measure lots of layers of cardstock. I love a layered look. I just don't like how much time it takes. Okay, so that's all filled in. We can go ahead and fill in underneath this flower. So all I'm doing is just coloring in the underside as if the light is coming in from the top. Okay. Then I'm also going to put just a little bit in the inside of those petals. White trillium is the flower of one of the Canadian provinces, but you can do this any color that you want, and I'll show a lot of different examples in different colors, but I'm just adding it to those little folds, just a tiny bit, and then towards the center. Okay. Now let's go ahead and color the center of that flower with this yellow. Then we'll do the greens. Get the chisel tips. I'll do this lighter green, just fill it up, most of it in really quickly. We'll save the most open areas, leave those white, as if the petal is folding over there and just reflecting off some of that light. Okay. And then we'll add our darker green. Let's keep grabbing that wrong tip. And I'm just adding this right over where all the black lines are in the illustration. And then we'll go back in with the lighter green to blend those. But see how quickly that came together, and it just looks so elegant. And I'm just so excited about the different videos that I have planned for you with this set and how effortless it's going to be to come up with different layouts for so many of my favorite images with this framing. Okay. And you might want to add a popped up tag that I was just trying to show you with very minimal supplies. So you could take one of these greetings, and there's so many places that you could put these: in the corner, under or above that frame, inside the oval. So let me go ahead and I'll just do a different one here. I'll do the Get Well. Stamp it in the black. Just put it right there in the corner. Fold the card, and it's finished. And then you could just add some of those pearls to that frame. I hope you enjoyed this card. I hope you see how easy it is to use this frame. I have a ton of ideas, and I will be posting a tip sheet on my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, MelanieMuenchinger.blogspot.com. I look forward to our release party this Thursday. Please come check it out and look for more videos with my new set Fabulous frame. Thanks for watching.